Hey guys, so this is the Cuckoo pressure multi-cooker. It's like an Instant Pot, and I think it is so gorgeous, and I'm probably biased about it because of its looks, but I am going to try and do a meal out of it. I'm going to do steamed okra. I'm going to do sprouted organic rice. We find that we can do rice if it's sprouted. And so we need some ginger, we need our okra, a little bit of cooking oil, and then we have our rice. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. And the thing I like about this is that you can actually change the temperature setting. On our Kasori, we really love it. It has some automatic settings on it, but you can't actually control what temperature it's going to hold at when it's at warm the same way you can with this one. It doesn't have that internal temperature reading on the Kasori that it does on the Cuckoo. It is Korean.
It's called Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Yeah.
It is Korean. It says that the pot is stainless and it's super heavy, but the finish on it definitely feels like Teflon. So I don't know. I mean, it's not scratching, but it has like a shiny finish on it. But I really like it. This is the steam basket. The steam basket on the Kasori is stainless steel. This one is plastic. I prefer stainless steel, but this one is actually a lot nicer because the legs are not as tall. The Kasori legs come down to here, and so there doesn't leave a lot of room for food. So you can actually fit more food in this one when you're steaming, even though the pot is smaller. So again, I have my okra. I also have my kimchi sitting here ready to be rinsed and mixed and bottled. I also need some scallions for this, but because I'm making kimchi, I'm going to go light on the scallions. So I do like the multi-cookers. I'm in love with the multi-cookers. It's very strange that I love them so much. I would take them over my regular pressure cooker, probably. The one thing bad about them is that sometimes if you use a stovetop pressure cooker, you can just turn the heat off and you can depressurize it. This one, it takes a little bit more finagling because it has locks in places to keep you safe, and it's controlled by an inner computer, so it's not as straightforward to turn off at exactly the right time as this one is, because you're not sure if it does have ways to depressurize it here with this, and it has a lock and unlock, and the Kasori has an even more straightforward pressure release where you just pick it up the little toggle and turn it, and it depressurizes. So I'm going to go ahead and again, we've done really well with the sprouted rice and the sprouted quinoa. We don't do real well with it if it hasn't been sprouted. This one is a Lundberg, and it is a tricolor blend. And this one, what I'm leaning towards is doing the rice in this one and doing the okra in a regular steamer, because when you pressure cook things, it takes very little time for it to cook it. And so if you're trying to do something lightly, you want to be able to control it rather than having it be a high heat, really high heat pressurized system. So I'm just going to steam these. I'm going to steam the okra, but we're going to use this as a rice cooker. Oh, here's the other thing. This is the lid, and it pops on and off so that you can wash it, because this doesn't disassemble, and it's super, super heavy. It's about 30 pounds weight. It's very heavy compared to the Kasori, but I'm not against that, to tell you the honest truth. We're going to take this out, and we're going to look at this. Set
the cooking time with selection. Rice. Set the cooking time with selection button minus or plus. Then press cook button.
When you use the sprouted rice, it actually cooks a little bit differently. We've only used the boxed stuff before that you add like the spices and everything. I haven't used it like this. I've used the sprouted quinoa, and it was wonderful. But I am really, really nervous that this isn't going to work right. Because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to, with at least the way that I've always done rice, is you bring it to a boil. It makes me really nervous to try this. Oh, should I just try it? Oh, don't be such a fanny, Julie. Do not
Mom,
be afraid.
do you not want to know? Let's look at the instruction manual for the cuckoo.
Huh?
Let's look at the cuckoo can cook rice.
Yeah, I know it can cook rice. It just makes me nervous because this rice is pretty expensive. When you get this rice, it's like $4 for this 2-cup bag. And what I need to learn how to do is how to sprout rice myself. Okay, so here's the instructions for the rice. We have place rice in water, close lid, select rice using menu, set the steam time to 8 minutes, and press cook. When cooking is complete, warming will start. Mix well. Before you start cooking, rinse rice thoroughly until water runs clear. For new harvest rice, adjust your water level to be slightly below the specified graduated mark. For old rice, have it slightly above the specified graduation mark. For soaked rice, add less water than specified. With less water, you can cook fluffier rice. With undercooked rice, add more water. Okay, with long grain rice, the water ratio is 1 to 1 1/4, and this one says 1 to 1 3/4. But if I rinse it, this doesn't say that I need to rinse it.
I think that
1 3/4. Okay, so that's what we're going to try. We're going to do 1. And 3/4. Okay. And it doesn't say I'm supposed to add anything else. Okay, so it said do the same thing if it's a rice cooker. So we're gonna close it, we're gonna lock it, set the steam time to 8 minutes, press cook. And yeah,
Starting the rice.
she does sing to you. When you're steaming, you don't want to add too much water. This is the Cuckoo steamer. You can see just how much space it takes up. So let's see if I have enough space here. Better space, yes. All right, I don't want to wash all these because I don't think they're all gonna fit. So we have had a great experience with sprouts. We are kind of struggling with Costco a little bit. Everything seems to be packaged. Their fresh fruits and vegetables are quite expensive. And so what we have gone to Costco for has been frozen fruits and vegetables, and those have been well priced. We've enjoyed those. And as a family that eats a lot of fruits and vegetables, it's nice to have them in bigger packages instead of the small frozen packages that don't seem to last past, one meal. So it is nice to have the frozen from Costco in bulk. I really like that. But for fresh, we're really, really, really enjoying, like, Trader Joe's is amazing, and so Sprout. Okay, so my apologies for the fact that you can hear the rice cooker in the back. I have all that jasmine that I just cut up and I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to make some jasmine ginger. not jasmine. I'm gonna make some ginger tea. And we do use a Berkey because there's a lot of chlorine in the water here. It irritates my skin and I have really bad reactions to it. So this is the Berkey that a friend loaned us. And the rice cooker is really going at it. Okay, so there is our water. It's gonna hurt to do this. In fact, what I should do, this is my teapot. I really like my teapot. I think it was like $3 at the secondhand store. I'm gonna rinse it out really quick.
All they could see was your brain.
Probably. Okay, so now we're ready to go. So we're gonna put those little pieces of, let's make sure none of them were moldy. I think some of them. Anything that wasn't moldy goes in. I'm gonna double check these pieces. That one's good, but I want to split it. I want to split it so that the ginger part comes out. And that one. Honey, you can still be working on school. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on this so that I'm not ruining the counter. And we're going to go ahead and pour our boiling water in with our ginger. And
Ginger tea?
yep, I'm going to make ginger tea. And I will add some other fun things to it in a minute. That way there's no waste of something that's, I don't know, I guess ginger is not that expensive, but it, you know, it costs something. And then these can go back in the fridge. Oh, there's the part that I saw that was not as good. That one's fine. That one's fine. I'm going to take those parts off. I'm tempted to plant it, you know? I wonder what it would think of my hotbed.
How about we try it?
Well, let's try it with the whole one, shall we? So we're going to go out and take some ginger and we're going to go plant it out in the hotbed. So we'll take this one. Yep, that is my pot. Okay, so here's my okra. It's really hot. And what I'm supposed to do is put it with that oil. So they're sticky as okra tends to be. Okay, I'm going to stir this up so that some of that oil gets on there. And some of that ginger. Are you supposed to be talking to me or are you supposed to be doing school?
I'm doing my school.
We'll see how that goes. I'm going to pull one of those out. And these are breakfast sausages. Okay, so we're going to switch it to the unlocked position. We're going to open it. We're going to see if it's everything it's supposed to be. Here's one of my okra. Tastes just like okra. I actually really like okra. Well, looks like it worked. Good texture. I'm gonna add some butter in there. And then I'm gonna leave it closed until we're ready to eat the rest of our meal. Okay, girls, you wanna come get the table set? How did it turn out?
Great.
We like the sprouted multi-grain rice, or multicolor rice. And you ate the okra.
Yeah, it was a little bit slimy.
Eat the heads, they're good too.
No, I don't.
Yep, eat the heads. They're actually not as slimy as the rest.
Yeah.
So we had breakfast sausage, multicolored sprouted rice, and
Okra.
okra. What do you think, girls? Pretty good, huh? And it was super easy with that,
Don't turn off. Don't turn
Cuckoo.
off. Do you want to hear a joke? What bird is with you for lunch? A swallow.
Get it? You're swallowing food at lunch and there's a type of bird.
Okay, so I'm gonna go plant some ginger and give some ducks some greens. Paige, can you come shut the door for me?
Here.
Hi, ducks. Do you want some greens? The chickens have finally learned how to act like chickens and they're making a mess out of the mulch. So I've already been out here to check on them once today, cleaning the grow bed, but they're looking good. The basil in the back is still fine, and I think we're good just to go ahead and plant it. All these other guys seem to be coming along just fine. Everybody's coming along just fine. So, kind of want to rebury some of these when I watered them. I think I uncovered them a bit more than I wanted to. I'm going to take this guy, and yeah, it's really, really, really warm in there. So even though ginger really likes warm, warm, warm climates, I think it'll like it in there. It's really warm in there. I'm gonna give him some water, because it's the water that keeps the bed warm. It is getting the carbon wet. There's layers of manure in there that are going to be breaking down. And yes, it's irritating with this particular type of soil that it's more hydrophobic than hydrophilic. So it wants to push the water away. It doesn't want to let it go down. It definitely helps putting rabbit manure in there. You can see those wood chips from the rabbit manure I put in. It's like the bacteria from the rabbit manure just makes the soil act more like normal soil. But sometimes you just do the best you can with what you got. I just want to make sure that these guys have enough water because they're on the edge. And being on the edge, they're going to dry out the fastest. And plants that don't come in as transplants have to be really resilient in a hotbed because this edge is going to pull back. The edge is going to pull back and it's going to sink, and there are ways to make that so it doesn't happen, but most of it has to do with waiting a little later and using more manure, and I just didn't have that much manure this time around, so we're doing the best we can with what we got. Hello, little plants. It's always interesting trying new things with new resources. Resources that I had at home I don't have here. And so I just really, what would have worked at home, I don't know if it would work here because I just don't have the same systems. I don't have the same resources. So we're just doing our best. Got some more back there sprouting up, which is good. And this is the fertilizer I'm experimenting with. I added a little bit. I don't know what it's doing yet. We'll have to wait and see. But the basil looks good. We'll see if we get some ginger. Almost looks like that one. Yep, that one's already trying to pop up. So let's cover them up just a little bit so they're not quite so exposed, so that next time I water I don't kill them. And I'll put it down. I really need to get the rest of this one filled up. I need to do it now at this point because I need more space. I just haven't done it. Hi, pretty girl. The unfortunate thing is, in order for things to look really nice, you have to buy them. And so if you're on a homestead where you're trying to be frugal and you're using cardboard boxes a lot and secondhand goods, it's not going to be super tidy, beautiful, pristine. It's going to look like you got a big metal circle full of cardboard boxes in your backyard. But my chickens are really happy. And I wonder if my kids gave them water today. It looks like they don't have water. I will need to go get them some water. Have had a great, whoops, that was I didn't rinse. Have had a great experience with sprouts. How is it still not tall enough?